Latest discovery of Higgs boson particle Higgs boson field leads the physical world into new world. What is Higgs boson particle? We are going to discuss about this. Higgs boson. This particle is also called as God's particle. This theory, Higgs boson field theory, explained by three experts named Robert Francois Englert, and Peter Higgs. It was proposed by Higgs in the year of 1964. It was proposed that as a new kind of field that fills the entire universe and gives mass to all elementary particles. What is Higgs boson? In our current description of nature, every particle is a wave in a field. The most familiar example of this is light. Light is simultaneously a wave in the electromagnetic field and a stream of particles called photons. In the Higgs boson's case, the field came first. The Higgs field was proposed in 1964 as a new kind of field that fills the entire universe and gives mass to all elementary particles. That means, before the interaction with Higgs field, all the elements have massless. After the interaction with the magnet Higgs field, only they get mass. Everything around you are made of particles, but when the universe began, no particles had mass. They all sped around at the speed of light. Stars, planets, and life could only emerge because particles gained their mass from a fundamental field associated with the Higgs boson. The particle was discovered at CERN, Geneva. How do particles get mass? Particles get their mass by interacting with the Higgs field. They do not have a mass of their own. The stronger a particle interacts with the Higgs field, the heavier the particle ends up again. Photons, for example, photons do not interact with this field and therefore they have no mass. Yet other elementary particles including electrons, quarks and bosons do interact and hence have a variety of masses. This mass giving interaction with the Higgs field is known as the Robert Englert Higgs mechanism. Robert Englert Higgs mechanism, proposed by theorists Robert Broad, Francois Englert, and Peter Higgs. How did we discover the Higgs boson? The Higgs boson can't be discovered by finding it somewhere, but has to be created in a particle collision. Once created, it transforms or decays into other particles that can be detected in particle detectors. Physicists look for traces of these particles in data collected by the detectors. The challenge is that particles are also produced in many other processes. Plus, the Higgs boson only appears in about 1 in a billion LHC collisions. Billion LHC collisions. LHC abbreviation stands for Large Hadron Collider. Large Hadron Collider. But careful statistical analysis of enormous amounts of data uncovered the particle's faint signal in 2012. How did physicists know it was the Higgs field? On 4th July 2012, the Atlas and CMS collaborations announced the discovery of a new particle to a packed auditorium at CERN. This particle had no electrical charge, it was short lived, and it decayed in ways that the Higgs boson should, according to theory. To confirm if it really was the Higgs boson, physicists needed to check its spin. The Higgs boson is the only particle to have a spin of 0. Higgs boson is the only particle to have a spin of 0. By examining 2.5 times more data, they concluded in March 2013 that indeed some kind of Higgs boson had been discovered. What is the use of this particle? In the search for this particle, accelerator and detector technologies were pushed to the limits, leading to advances in healthcare and aerospace and more. In this information, we discussed about CERN, CERN. What is the CERN? Council European pour la Recherche Nucléaire. In English, this means European Organization for Nuclear Research. It was set up in 1954 by Western European countries, 12 Western European countries. Now it has 23 member states. Its major role is to make available the particle accelerators and additional facilities and infrastructure which are required for research and study of high energy physics. In the beginning, the main objective of CERN laboratory was to commit itself for the research and study of the atomic nuclei. However, it was almost immediately put on the operation to research, function, and study on higher energy physics, which largely related to the study of interconnected activities among subatomic particles. This is the reason the CERN laboratory is generally mentioned as the European Laboratory for Particle Physics. Thank you very much. Please subscribe my channel.